Good evening, how are we all? Welcome along to the live coverage of the penultimate round of Season 2 here at Formula Racing League. We are live at Imola tonight, a nighttime Imola, at Imola under the stars, as we've got two races to go, and the championship is hotting up. We have got an almighty battle going on in both the hypercar and GT3. We've got an hour and 20 minutes of racing to bring you tonight, plus qualifying, so stick with us in the coming hour and a half, 2 hours or so, as we've got plenty to go through. And in a very brief moment, we're going to have a couple of live driver interviews. We're going to get them in about 30 seconds or so. So we'll chat to some of the championship contenders that we've got on the grid tonight. So in fact, let me just do that now. Let me just get everything ready for that. But I hope everyone's well. Please do drop a like on the video, whack that subscribe button, and yeah, let us know in the chat where you're watching from, who you're supporting, and say hi. It's Friday evening, it's LMU, it's FRL, we're back again. So, one driver we're going to speak to tonight is Francesco Adamu. Francesco Adamu is currently leading the Hypercar Championship. He's got 114 points on the board, and there is only 24 points separating the top four on the grid in Hypercar. So you've got Francesco currently sitting in that key championship first position. Adam Cesplar is second with 104 points, 10 points behind him. And third with 101 is Johannes Priest, and in fourth with an outside chance is Brandon Geitz with 89 points. So that's how close it is in Hypercar. We're going to see if we can chat to Francesco now, who is waiting to speak with us, and see if we can get hold of him. Francesco, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
How are we doing? How are you?
I'm pretty anxious for tonight.
Pretty nervous?
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. On night.
Yeah,
really
it's going to be very tricky conditions out there, and yeah, it's under night as well. The night time is always a different challenge. Well, thank you for joining us. Just a couple of questions for you before we let you go on with qualifying. How's the season been for you so far? How's it been for you?
It was not easy, but I'm pretty happy for what I saw on track, my pace.
Yeah.
There have been a few occasions where maybe I screwed the race, like Le Mans where I changed tires at the pit and lost the win, or Portimao where I was fighting for the win, but I crashed in the last corner.
Yes.
But overall, I'm pretty happy for what has been for now.
And out of all those races, what's been the hardest for you in terms of the trickiest race? Was it the season opener, or was it Portimao when you went off? What was it?
No, surprisingly, it was not Portimao. It was Monza.
Monza?
Even though Portimao was basically the worst condition we've had so far. In Monza, I really struggled for pace. I had many issues on the braking. So basically, sector 1 I was so vulnerable. I had a bad quali, and even when I was fighting Adam for P3 on the last couple of laps, I tried to push a little bit harder, but I had a lock up on the rear and almost got out at Parabolica. It was, I think, 2 or 3 laps to the end. So yeah. It was a nightmare of a race for me.
And it was your home race as well.
Yeah, exactly. I need to avenge it tonight.
And obviously, we've just been looking at the standings. You are, I think, 10 points ahead of Adam in P2.
Yeah, I think so.
There is very close between the top four. Big prizes up for grabs as well with Q controls. What are you feeling going into the final 2 rounds? Are you a little bit nervous? Are you confident? Is it all about just trying to do your job and put the car in on the front row in qualifying? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm both confident and nervous, because the Peugeot lately made a step up that's
Mhm.
kind of impressive, to be fair. And basically in every conditions, in every track, they are fast.
Yeah.
They go on track, they put the lap, they box. Uh, so I'm confident because Ferrari is kind of good at Imola and very good at Le Mans.
Mhm.
But I'm nervous to see what they do. That's it basically. So yeah, qualifying obviously is really really important. In Bahrain, I lost the race because the quali wasn't perfect, so I couldn't do it. We'll see tonight and next Friday what comes up.
Yeah, I'm just quickly. I'm just looking at the practice times now. You've done a 30.3, and Brandon's done a 29.6. Have you still got more in the car there, or are you holding back a little bit?
I wanna hope that his lap time was on no tank. If not, chapeau. Yeah, I mean it's tricky conditions, and to warm up the tires, we need at least 5 or 6 laps. So maybe the pole lap or the lap that will put us into the grid will be likely the last one on quali, and it's like a one-shot quali, basically.
Yeah.
So will be very very tough.
Well, thank you so much for joining us for a
Thank you,
quick chat,
thank you,
and have best of luck tonight. I hope everything goes well for you, and yeah, have fun out there.
thank you. Bye bye.
Take care. Well, that was Francesco. I mean, look at that. That was almost like Sky Sports joining the old team principals on the wall during the F1 coverage. Thank you for Francesco for joining us there. That was brilliant of him to spare 10 minutes of his time just before qualifying, and he's got a shot of him there in his garage. Let's see who's out on track. We might also get another championship contender on air tonight at some point. We might hopefully try and speak to one of the couple of GT3 drivers, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah, Francesco, thank you if you are watching this back later on. Thank you so much for joining us. I really, really do appreciate it. And next week we're going to have some interviews with some not just drivers potentially next week. So next week is promising to be a season finale worth tuning in for. We might even get Cube Controls themselves on board. We might even be, might even have the presence of Mr. Chris Jones, Mr. FRL himself, who looks after the admin running for LMU over on Formula Racing. We might even see him as well in the commentary box a little bit next week for a quick 2-minute chat. He's not normally let's just say he's got a face for radio. Yeah. So where are we? We've got about 11 minutes to qualifying. The practice server was a little bit late going up today, not due to FRL's issues. There's a couple of gremlins in the old servers, I believe, so we're a little bit late getting the practice underway. So we've got about 10 minutes, and that brings me perfectly onto the GT3 standings. So let me just quickly refresh, wake the cameraman up and just get the camera back onto a car and track, so you're not just watching a car in the garage. There we go, we've got Adam Merlin on the track at the moment. The championship standings for GT3, so we've already been through the hypercar, and you saw how close it was, 24 points, the difference there, and we've just spoken to Francesco, who's leading that championship. But over in GT3, it's the gap's a little bit bigger. So Leonardo Vera, let's see if it's Vera out on track. He is. So the guy on your screen right now, Leonardo in Mustang, he's leading the GT3 championship with 140 points. He's almost got a 22-point lead over Kasperzik. So Kasperzik, the BMW driver, he's also on track there. Actually, no, he's in the pits. So Kasperzik, 22 points behind. So Vera really has got one hand on that GT3 title, and I think tonight's going to be interesting. If Vera can get through tonight with the top 3, then he's really has got a firm grip on that title going into the season finale next week. But it's never going to be over until that checkered flag, so let's just not put the commentator's curse on it. But Kasperzik really has got to get that BMW on the front row tonight and just put the pressure on. Further behind Kasperzik in third place is Joseph Chadder, the Porsche. We've seen Chadder doing some phenomenal laps this season already alongside Kasperzik and Vera. Those three have just been fantastic pace all season. But Chadder is 111 points compared to the 140 of Vera. So again, outside chance of that championship, but an opportunity tonight just going into the final round to put put some pressure on Leonardo. So we'll see how it plays out. We have got a smaller grid tonight as well. There's not going to be too much traffic for the drivers to negotiate around Imola. The grid is just a little bit smaller. We've only got 8 GT3s currently on track and 19 cars overall. So those are the cars you can all see on the left-hand side of your screens. And setting the pace currently is Brandon Geitz. We heard Francesco just saying he's wishing that that was a low fuel run. So time to be found for Francesco with a 30.3 so far in qualifying. He's currently sitting 6 tenths off the 2 Peugeots, and we've seen the Peugeots really have made a comeback this season. The last couple of rounds they've been dominating on track. At the start of the season it was all the Ferraris. We saw it at Spa, we saw it at Le Mans, it was just Ferrari. But recently the Peugeots of Geitz and Priest just been making quite a resurgence for that championship, and at a good time as well. So yeah, pressure is on Adamu tonight, but we'll see how it goes. So I'm just checking the YouTube chat, apologies. What we'll do as well when we get into qualifying, we'll just bring you an onboard lap preview as well. We'll go on board with the driver on their first hot lap in qualifying and bring you a bit of an introduction to Imola. But so Imola is a fantastic circuit, and as you will have noticed, the headlights are on, the rear view lights are on, all the lights are on the car. It's a night race tonight, so it's going to be tricky for the drivers. Just the temperature's going to be low. You know, tyre temp could be a bit of a concern as well for the drivers, getting that temperature into the tyres and into the brakes. So yeah. Right, I'll be back in about 1 minute's time, and then we'll bring you a bit of a rundown as to who's on track tonight in the standings, and then it will be time for qualifying. Back with you very shortly. And I'm back. So, where are we? We've got about 6 minutes qualified, and by magic, we've got another driver waiting to come speak with us to talk about their championship hopes. So let's just bring in Kasprizik, who is a GT3 title challenger in this series tonight. Let's just see. Let's just bring him in. Mr. Kasprizik, how are you?
Good evening, everyone. Yeah, I'm good. I cannot wait for the start race.
I've just been giving the viewers a bit of an introduction. So you're currently sat second in the championship, and yeah, what are your thoughts going into tonight? Are you feeling confident?
I think so. Yeah, I've done everything what I can, honestly, to prepare, to be prepared.
Yeah.
But yeah, you will see how it's gonna be, especially in Team 1, because it's very tight and it's very tricky as well. Imola is very technical track,
yeah.
So you never know.
And the pace between, so I was saying earlier, Leonardo, Joseph and yourself, all three of you have been on it all season, like with just trading lap times, and it's been really, really close. And looking at the practice times, there's like 2 temps in it. So it looks really close out there between you three.
Yeah, that's true. But unfortunately, I made a mistake on Monza, on LMU 1, and it cost
Yeah.
me a lot because I finished still P2, but I should be P1.
Yeah. What's been your favourite moment of the season so far?
Overtake on the outside of Chada on the sunset. On the
I remember seeing that on stream. Yeah, so, yeah, Sebring, definitely. So what's your mindset going into the final two races? See, Leonardo's got a 22-point lead. You kind of need to win tonight, don't you, to put that pressure on him going into next week?
Well, let's be honest, I can win this because I can gain against him 22 points. So maybe because he didn't participate in the first round, maybe it's gonna be the big deal. But you never know how it's gonna be with Chada, especially on Le Mans, because
Yeah.
the Porsche is very quick on the straight, especially on the Le Mans. It's crucial.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Well, and how's BMW feeling around Imola tonight? How's it over the curbs, the chicane?
Well, it's a big advantage, especially on chicane Alta. You can just fly around the curbs, and it helps a lot. But for the other hand, we have to handle the understeer, so it's not that easy. But the Leonardo has the Mustang, so it's even worse for me.
Yeah.
So let's gonna see, especially with the tricky condition, because currently the temperature is low, so the tire will be key, I think.
Interesting. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for the quick chat, and I'll let you go off and get ready for qualifying. And best of luck tonight. And hopefully I'll catch some overtakes around the outside on stream.
Thanks so much.
Take care. Bye bye. So that was Kasperzik. Thank you again for joining us. So look at that, a couple of driver interviews live on air tonight before the race, and next week we're going to do the same. And as I said, we're going to try and get a few more special guests on air next week, potentially after the race. So I'm hyping next week up because I really do think this championship in both LMP and in Hypercar and GT3 is going to go down to the checker flag at Le Mans next week. So it's going to be a big event next week. We might even get a co-commentator on board as well, so it's not just my voice you're listening to for 2 hours, but we'll see. But let's forget about next week. Let's just focus on tonight. And Chris Smiley's in the live chat on YouTube. My game has shafted me. He says. What's happened, Chris? Talk to us. Cesar, when is the AM split going to get some love on YouTube? Cesar, the AM split is getting plenty of love, my friend. It is just, unfortunately, we haven't got a commentator for the AM split. Let's be honest, but it's got a lot of love behind the scenes. I can make no mistake about it. And hopefully, season 3, you never know, we might get a live commentator sorted, lined up for it. We shall see. But thank you anyways for joining the live stream. Frank Van Ginneken Racing, Mako the man, how are you doing, Frank? Thank you for joining us. And everyone else watching the live stream, we're about 1 minute away from qualifying, and we're going to start getting some on-track action with these hypercars. And just to remind you of the practice times on the left-hand side of your screen there. Johannes Priest currently setting the time of a 29.6 and only 3 tenths between. Well, there's only 6 tenths, beg your pardon, separating the 4 title challenges there. And they are all sitting P1 to 4 on track right now. That just shows you I think we're in for a real treat tonight. Over in GT3, Leonardo Vera, Chada and Kasperzik, top 3 all season, the top 3 again tonight. But who knows what happens in qualifying. Anything can happen in qualifying. There's a couple of drivers in GT3 outside of those top 3 who could just sneak onto the front row. Rudy Vermeulen has been improving in recent weeks. Alex Nieto he's been hovering around that P4-5 position in quali, so you just never know. So we've got plenty to watch out for. If season 3 for the AM split comes, it needs you commentating. Chris, I can assure you I am not paying Cesar to say this stuff to me. Well, thank you very much, my friends. Very kind of you. I'm just doing my best. Right, so where are we? Kasperzik, is he let's just have a look while my catch predict is just pulling off. So yeah, we're just about to start. The drivers are just starting to come back into the pit boxes to get ready for qualifying. While that happens, while the server refreshes, let's just remind you. There we go. Only 2 rounds to go. Imola tonight, May the 30th. It's 1 hour, 20-minute race. It is split between 2 classes with the weather being scripted. We don't know what the weather's going to do. It's scripted, but the drivers don't exactly know all the time exactly what it's going to do to the exact science. And there is prizes up for grabs, and that brings me very, very neatly onto our series sponsor, and that is Cube Controls. Now, if you're following Cube Controls on their socials, then you would have already seen this. If you're not following, then what are you doing, guys? Go and find Cube Controls on social media, more importantly Instagram, and you would have seen their big announcement. They've got a huge collaboration kind of gone live with VNM Simulation. They've got the kind of partnership going. It drops today, May the 30th, and you've got a chance to snag a limited edition Cube Controls direct drive system, and it looks top tier performance for the rig. Like, if you're looking for an upgrade, if you're looking for direct drive system, then go check out their social medias. You'll see it. Collaboration with VNM Simulation and Cube Controls, and just a huge thank you to those guys at Cube Controls who might be joining us next week on air to say a few words about the series. But I say it every week, and it doesn't, even though I repeat myself every week, it goes without saying thank you to their huge, incredible support this season, and some of the prizes up for grabs for the drivers. 3 incredible prizes. It's just some of the best prizes in sim racing in any community going, I think, at the moment, on any game that I've seen personally. So that's that. Where are we with qualifying? Has the green light gone on? The green light has gone on, and we've got drivers out on track. And let's just go on board with Francesco Adamu. He was very kind enough to spare 10 minutes of his time earlier talking to us live on air. So it's only right to repay the favour and go on board with him for the first flying lap tonight. And he's just on his out lap at the moment. So we'll just stick on board with Francesco, and we'll bring you a live talk through of Imola. Imola's a fantastic circuit. It really is one of my personal favourites. It's quite hard to overtake, but there is opportunities. There is opportunities into Variante Tamburello. The chicane technically turns 2, 3, and 4. You've got into Tosa. You've got an opportunity. You've got an opportunity into the Ravazza, even though it's a little bit tricky. It's a technical circuit. Probably one of the hardest corners on the circuit. It's Acqua Minerale as well, turns 11, 12 and 13. Really tricky braking zone. A little bit off. You're not braking in a straight line as such all the time. Potentially you've got chances for tyres to lock. So it's a phenomenal circuit. It's an old school circuit. There's a lot of, there's grass and gravel to either side. Not a lot of room for error. The drivers are going to be absolutely on it, and they've got to be on it because they're under the stars here in Italy. And here we go. Around Ravazza to down the start finish straight, and Francesco Adamu is about to start the first flying lap of his night. So here we go. So into the Variante Tamburello chicane, heavy braking, flick the car left over the curbs, flip the car right over the curbs on the right hand side, bring the car to the left, let the car drag out wide over those curbs, and then now we're going down into the Villeneuve chicane. So again, real fast left-hander. Steady over the braking, don't go too wide here, cannot go too wide there. Now into the Tosa hairpin of turn 7, so again heavy braking, nice and patient on the throttle, let the car drag, straighten up, then on the throttle, up the hill to Piratella. So turns 9, Piratella, left-hander again, opportunity for the car to go wide out on the right-hand side curb and avoid it. Bring the car all the way to the left, and now Acqua Minerale, really tricky technical circuit. Again, straighten the car up, don't go too wide, watch the traction on the rear tyres, so the rear will be screaming for dear life through Acqua Minerale. Now Variante Alta chicane, heavy curbing, take a lot of curb on the right, a lot of curb on the left, straighten the car up, full throttle, down over the hill and down into Ravazza 1 and 2. Fantastic shot there of the houses overlooking Ravazza. So Ravazza 1, heavy braking, real heavy braking, left, Nice and patient, nice and patient. Get it in early, straighten the car up, full throttle. You're now on your way home, and that is a lap of Imola. And what is the time going to be? Adam Sesplar set a 31 flat. Modin 3/10 off that. Where is Francesco? He's gone provisional pole position with a 30.9, but we've still got championship contenders still coming across the line. We've got Johannes Priest. He's in sector 1. Brandon Geitz, Adam Sesplar. So I'm just trying to find Brandon Geitz. Where is he? Here he is. He's gone purple in the first sector. Let's just bring you the sector times on the screen. There we go. As you can see, purple sector 1, purple sector 2. Is it going to be as purple sector 3? He's into Rivazza 1. Rivazza 2 now for the Peugeot driver. Adamu holding that provisional pole position is 1/10 and a half between him and Adam Sesplar, the two championship rivals. But here comes Brandon Geitz in the Peugeot, the first Peugeot across the line tonight. What's it going to be? It is. It's provisional pole with a 29.6. So then all attention switches to Johannes Priest. So this is going to be the first round of punches between these championship contenders in hypercar. So Geitz, Adamu and Sesplar across the line. Johannes Priest is the last championship contender across the line. He's the second Peugeot, so it's Peugeot versus Ferrari here, as it has been all season. Here comes Johannes Priest. He's not purple, but he's green. Is it going to be the front row? It is. So it's a provisional Peugeot lockout on the front row. Geitz and Priest. So Adamu and Modin have got to respond. And look at that time from Geitz. I mean, that is just incredible. Dominic Illinger trying to spoil the championship party there. Dominic Illinger onto the second row in 4th position. So he's knocked Adamu. Adamu's down all the way in 6th. So the championship leader in hypercar under pressure here. We saw him we heard him before the race saying how he was a little bit nervous ahead of it tonight. Well, he's got to find some time. He's got a target lap time of 29.6 to find. He's got to find 1.3 seconds. Brandon Geitz has boxed, so he's potentially just tweaking a setup before going back out for a second run. So Adamu is improving, but it's not going to be enough. I mean, that time from Geitz is seriously impressive. A 29.6. Adamu is only 3/10 up on his. He set a PB, but it's not going to be enough. Just looking at the sector 2 times as well, Adam Sesplar has gone purple in sector 2, so we'll jump on board with him in a minute. He's done a 31.8 in the middle sector. That is quicker than Geitz. Got a yellow flag out as well. Geitz is now back out of the pit. So here comes Adamu. Is he going to improve? He does improve, but it's only good enough for 4th. Let's go on board with Sesplar because he's set that purple middle sector. Or he did. He's now, I think he, sorry, apologies, that could have been from his previous lap. I think it was. So this is now a fresh lap. He's actually now down on his sector 1 time, as you see there. So let's just see who else we've got. Where is Johannes Priest? He's improving in the middle, in the first sector. He's pulled off this lap. He's aborted it. He's just getting some temperature into those tyres. So we've had one knockout blow from Brandon Geitz in qualifying so far. We're going to go for a second round. He's just letting traffic through. Is he? Yeah, he is. So Brandon Geitz just trying to get space, and see how close it is between him and Priest. 1/10 in it. Sesplar back there in P3. He's now going to be starting a new lap. He's going to have time for it. Where's Adamu? Adamu's coming into Rivazza 1 as well. So Sesplar's going to be across the line first, I think. Where's Geitz? Geitz is Rivazza 1. Priest. He's the first one on track. Apologies, I don't have a track map, so I can't. It's not always easy for me to tell who's where on the track. So apologies. Just have to sometimes flick through the telemetry to find out who's where. But Johannes Priest is the first of the 4. On the flying lap, and he's 1/2 up, and I'm doing a lot of talk about the championship contenders, and that's where all the excitement is. But let's just not forget we have got other drivers on track as well. Dominic Illinger currently occupying P5, Adam Moden 6th, Kiss 7th, Den 8th, Savona 9th, Besselink 10th, and Bath 11th. We've got 11 hypercars on track tonight, and we will get to those throughout the race. But for the moment, we're just focusing on Johannes Priest, and we're focusing on the Sector 1 times of the championship contenders. So Johannes Priest 25.7 in Sector 1, Adam Sesplar 26.5, Geitz 29.6. Geitz that's not good enough from Geitz. Geitz I think is that's him done. It's a mega middle sector from Johannes Priest. Johannes Priest could ever so be slight if he can get rFactor 1 and 2 sorted out. He could be challenging Geitz here for pole position. Across the line. Oh, it's not. Look how close. It was a purple middle sector, purple final sector, but oh, it's 0.12 of a second. Oh my god. Blimey. An almighty lap. Here comes Adam Sesplar. He's not going to improve. Where is Adamu? Adamu's down as well. He's done. Adamu's done. So Brandon Geitz, he's your pole sitter in hypercar. I don't think he's going to get across the line, is he? He probably will. 29.6. The two Peugeots neck and neck in qualifying. The Ferraris just can't match the pace. 3/10 the gap to Adam Sesplar. Geitz, I think it's just going to get across the line here. So Geitz is going to have one more go, and that means Priest will have one more go as well. Because I thought the checker flag was a little bit cards, but that's not quite the case. So we're going to have. Priest unable to match his previous excuse me, my throat just giving up there for a second. Unable to match the previous times, and I'd be unless it's an absolute mega final sector. Oh, it is an asset. The commentator's curse. I said, well, I don't think he's going to match the previous lap time unless it's absolutely a mega final sector, and it is. Johannes Priest takes it provisionally off Brandon Geitz, but Brandon Geitz is purple in the Sector 1. This is just a Peugeot kind of like uppercut. They're both taking chimes to uppercut each other with sector times. In this, I can't call it. He's slower in the middle sector though, but look how close it is. It is so close. Into rFactor 1. Get that braking right. Car looking very compliant. Very good for rFactor 2 as well, all the way on the throttle now. Oh, he's boxing. Is it? That's it. So Johannes Priest, he is your hypercar pole position sitter tonight. Johannes Priest, the 93 Peugeot. Brandon Geitz, the 94 Peugeot. Look how close. That's ridiculous. That is so close. But our attention for the next 8 minutes and 23 seconds switches to GT3. We've got 7 GT3s on track tonight. Leonardo Vera, the championship leader, he's now doing his outlap. I'm going to take 30 seconds just to take a breather, because blimey, I'm just blown away by that qualifying session in hypercar. So Kasperzik, he's the first driver on track, first driver across the line to start his flying lap. We spoke to Kasperzik a little while ago. 30.7 Sector 1, Cole Van Horn 32.7, Rudy Vermeulen 32.1. So Kasperzik setting that early pace in Sector 1, but Vera and Chadder are still to come through that Sector 1 timing. Joseph Chadder a 30.799. It's not as quick as Kasperzik in Sector 1. So Kasperzik still holding purple. What is Leonardo Vera going to do in Sector 1? We're about to see his times flash up on my screen any moment now as he comes through that Sector 1 time. 37.5 for Kasperzik in the middle sector. It's purple, but he's the first driver through, so that's why it's showing as double purple. Carl Van Horn 39.2, Rudy Vermeulen 38.6. They haven't got the pace on Kasperzik, but we've got to watch out for Chada and Vera. So Leonardo Vera at 30.5. It's 2 tenths up of Kasperzik in the middle sector. But here comes Kasperzik. He's going to be the first one over the line, and the provisional pole position time will be a 45.4. But Leonardo Vera is setting the pace in that first sector. We haven't got the sector 2 time for Joseph Chada, and I'm not sure if has he invalidated a lap potentially. It's not showing me a middle sector time for Chada, but here is Vera as well. So going into the chicane, the Rudy Vermeulen across the line 49.1, Carl Van Horn 50.5. It's a middle sector from Leonardo Vera at 37.1. He is looking like he's going to take this provisional pole off Kasperzik. I think Joseph Chada invalidated his last lap. That's why we haven't got a middle sector time for him. I can tell you though, Kasperzik has matched Vera's sector 1 time on his next lap. So Vera across the line, and it's a 44.4. It's 9 tenths quicker than Kasperzik, but Kasperzik has matched him in the first sector. Leonardo Vera's middle sector, sector 2, was a 37.1. Kasperzik is a 37.3. So again, it's 2 tenths quicker than his previous lap, but it's still 2 tenths down on Vera. And Vera's going even quicker, 30.3 in that first sector compared to the 30.5 of Kasperzik. So Vera's just getting quicker and quicker. Kasperzik are going to be across the line. What's it going to be? It's a 44.8, so 3 tenths in it. Joseph Chada, where is he? I'm just watching him now. So here he is. Again, it's very close. This could be a second. This could be a front row. This could be a front row. It is. It's P2. It's provisionally P2 for Joseph Chada, the Porsche driver. But Vera, I think, is going to increase his lead even more. He's got a nice slipstream as well from the Aston Martin of, I think that could be Mark Stewart. Has he backed off? If he's backed off, then that's a shame, because he's set purple sector 1 and 2. He's backed off. He had chance there, but whether he just thought, I'm way too close to the Aston Martin. So Kasperzik is boxing for some fresh set of rubber and one final run, I believe. Nigel Longden currently occupying 4th. Carl Van Horn is 5th. And Mark Stewart is the last runner on track. But Leonardo Vera, he's going again. Let's go on board with the Mustang. As Joseph Chada with a 43.9, he puts it on pole position, but Vera has gone quicker in that middle sector, so now the pressure is on the Italian driver. Oh, he's backed off again. He's still not happy. He's backed off again, and he's going to go for one final run. Kasprzyk is on his outlap. So it's all or nothing for Leonardo Vera, the championship leader in GT3. He occupies a 21-point lead in the championship, but that can all change, you know, with the scoring in this series. You know, a win gets you 38 points, so it might be a 21-point lead, but you know, it's nothing with 2 rounds to go. So the pressure is on Leonardo Vera. This is his lap. He's got to try and take pole position off Joseph Chada, who is occupying 3rd in the championship right now. He's just, what, 29, 30 points off Vera in the championship, but the target lap time of a 43.9. It's a purple first sector for Leonardo Vera, a 30.3. Half a tenth quicker than Chada. He's going slower as well, so Chada's not going to improve on this lap. He's going to have time for one more lap. So Joseph Chada has got time for one more lap. Off he goes. Where's Kasprzyk? He's 3 tenths down. Here comes Leonardo Vera again over the chicane, and now he's catching the Aston Martin again into rFactor, but he's got no option now but to go for it. Purple sector 1, purple sector 2. It all comes down to the final corner of rFactor 2, and he might get a nice little tow from the back of that Aston Martin. Taking the shorter run to the line. What is it going to be? It's not good enough. It's not good enough for pole position. So Joseph Chada has got an almighty chance now to take pole in GT3 and put the cat amongst the pigeons in this championship battle here at Imola. So Joseph Chada, he's got even quicker in the first sector. He's looking to cement that provisional pole. Kasprzyk is boxed as well. So Kasprzyk is boxed. Longden's boxed. So Rudy Vermeulen and Cole Van Horn are also out on track, but they are 3 seconds down. So this is all on Joseph Chada, and I think, well, he's got it in the bag now, hasn't he? You know, unless Rudy Vermeulen and Cole Van Horn pulls 3.5 seconds out the bag, which they're not going to do, let's be honest here. Joseph Chada is your pole sitter here in GT3. Wow, I cannot believe how close it is between the front 2 in Hypercar and the front 2 in GT3. Wow, it's been so close, and these drivers, you know, they're putting so much effort in to these races with the prizes, and you know, the pressure that's on them. It's the competition. It's the competition inside of them wanting to beat the rivals, but it's also the prizes that are up for grabs, and it's, you know, it's sim racing. This is what it's all about, and this is what we're seeing as a result of that. It's just really close qualifying. So let's bring you a full order of where we are. So your front row is Johannes Priest and Brandon Geitz, the 2 Peugeots, locking out that front row at Imola. Row 2 is Adam Sesplar and Francesco Adamu. So those are your championship contenders. Row 3 is Dominic Illinger and Adam Moden. And a Ferrari party there in rows 2 and 3. Row 4 is Domikos Kiss and Patrick Den. Row 5 is Cody Besselink and Maurizio Savona. Row 6 is Jan Barfus, the last hypercar running, and Joseph Chada, your pole sitter in GT3. Row 7, Leonardo Vera and Kasprzyk. Row 8, Nigel Longden and Rudy Vermeulen in the 2 BMWs.
Teams and drivers go to the grid for a race start.
Row 9, Carl Van Horn and Mark Stewart. And row 10 is Alex Nieto. Alex Nieto will be disappointed with that qualifying. He just couldn't get a decent lap in at all really there, Alex Nieto. You know, I picked him up a little bit before qualifying, saying he's been hovering around the first couple of rows in GT3. Well, tonight that wasn't the case. So let's just bear with me while I just, sorry. There we go. So the cars are just lining up on the grid now. I'm going to do my very best to commentate on this race start with two Peugeots on the front row. It's at night. I have quite limited visibility on the numbers on the side of the car, so please do forgive me in the next 1 hour and 20 minutes if I just commentate on the wrong driver who's on the wrong and the inside or the outside. please give me a little bit of leeway, just because it's a little bit hard for me with the numbers. But there we can see car 93 with the green lights of Johannes Priest, and on the outside is car 94 of Brandon Geitz. They're your two Peugeots, and then you have the 83 of Adam Sesplar and the 51 of Francesco Adamu. So we're about to go racing here at Imola. We're 2 rounds to go in this fantastic season. We've got 2 brilliant championships up for grabs. It's going down to the wire. It all starts tonight here at Imola, and we're about to go racing here for Formula Racing League Masters of LMU Season 2, sponsored by Cube Controls. The green light, the wave, the flag is about to go any second now. Here we go, green flag. We're racing here at Imola, and Brandon Geitz. Oh, Adamu's got a fantastic start, as has Adam Sesplar, tucked in behind the Peugeot. So they're going to go too wide. It's a Peugeot to have a look at the inside. He is. So they go side by side. There is no contact. Oh, Sesplar at the back as well. There's a little bit of contact with the red Ferrari. Sesplar getting involved, but Johannes Priest leads the pack away through turns 1, 2, 3, 4. So Priest leads Brandon Geitz. Adamu is up to 3rd. Adam Sesplar 4th. What's happening in GT3? Joseph Chadha has got away cleanly. He is leading Leonardo Vera in P2, and Kasprzyk has maintained 3rd. So it's as you were in GT3. Let's just see on board the back of oh, that's Vera having a look at Joseph Chadha there. The 2 Peugeots managed to get a clean start. They avoided any contact. Adam Sesplar had his elbows out at the start, but Adamu got ahead of him. And he's now hunting down the 2 Peugeot drivers. Timo Braun in the live chat there had to pull out of tonight's race, but rooting for my man at Illinger. That's Dominic Illinger there. Timo Braun is rooting for. So thanks for joining the live stream, Timo. Best of luck with your Masters program. Good to have seen you on track this season, and yeah, we'll see what Dominic Illinger's up to. Actually, he's running P6 at the moment. He's in between Adam Moden and Domikos Kiss, the Ferrari driver. So solid start from Illinger. And let's just go on board with Leonardo Vera, because he is really putting that Porsche under pressure. The Porsche will probably have the upper hand in the middle sector, but that Mustang will be mighty quick with that American Ford Mustang power in the straight. And Leonardo Vera has got one hell of a run now. He's going to make a move up the inside. No, he isn't. He's just going to tuck in behind the very quick left-hander, the sharp right-hander, now going into the Tosa hairpin. Is he going to make a move up the inside? No, it's as you were into Tosa. So Chadha under immense pressure here from his championship rival. And already you can just see these guys are just breaking away from the pack already. three-way battle already between these guys. Let's see if we can get on board with Kasperzik, who we spoke to earlier on the grid. We can. So great shot of the two guys up ahead. We've got BMW, Mustang and Porsche. This is now close. That Mustang closes in on the Porsche down the back straight. Well, it's back straight, the start finish straight, beg your pardon. So into turn one, it's an overtaking opportunity, but the Porsche, is he going to go defensive? No, he's just going to stick to the racing line. He's not feeling that pressure just yet. So really good first couple of corners from the Porsche driver there, nice and clean. No signs of traction breaking loose in the rear tyres of the Porsche. And on board with Brandon Geitz as well. The view from inside of that Peugeot, chasing down the 93 of Johannes Priest. Already got a 2.5 second gap to Francesco Adami, so the championship leader in hypercar, just trying to hang on really to the two Peugeots. 2.7 seconds back now. He's got Adam Sesplar as well for company. .4 seconds back. And towards the rear of hypercar, Patrick Den and Cody Besselink, they're sandwiched between two BMWs of Besselink and Bath into turn one. Gap just under a second for the Peugeot. And all the way back of the field, Carl Van Horn, he's dropped down to last place in GT3. He's battling away with Mark Stewart, so the two Aston Martins there at the rear of the field. Alex Nieto up 2 places, which brings me on nicely actually to the positions gained and lost. So as we can see, Francesco Adamo, oh, we've got a yellow flag. We've got a yellow flag. Who's that for? Briefly waved and then it's back green again. So as we can see, Adamu up 1 position. He got past Adam Sesplar on the start. Adam Moden also got by Dominic Illinger, dropping 1, and then Bath and Savona also swapping positions at the rear of hypercar. And oh, hang on. Oh, I know what the yellow flag was for. It's Leonardo Vera. Leonardo Vera has dropped. I've only just noticed it. I was just about to comment on Joseph Chadder, and Leonardo Vera is down to 5th. So I mentioned the yellow flag, and apologies for not having it on the live stream. We were watching the battle, or another battle going on, but Leonardo Vera has obviously had a moment, and he's dropped all the way down to 5th. So drama for the championship leader. He's obviously had issues with Chadder because Chadder's dropped to 2nd, and Kasperzik is now leading. So the BMW driver up 2 positions overall, and Vera has dropped 3, so Vera is down to 5th, and that, you know, I'm not saying it's going to stay like that, but if it were to stay like that, then you know, that would be a big point swing in the title charge. But you know, there is Lewis. Let's not get ahead of yourself. There's 1 hour and 12 minutes to go, and Vera is already almost in the back of Nigel Longden, so 1.1 second gap to Nigel Longden, who currently occupies 4th, and the man in 3rd place is Rudy Vermeulen. We've not seen him up far up the field so far this season, but Rudy Vermeulen currently occupying that 3rd and taking advantage of the drama in GT3. So that is the first 8 minutes of this race, and we've already had our first slice of drama here at Imola. Consistent pace as well from the Peugeots out in front. They've now, Adamu is now 4 seconds off the lead. At this stage in the race, I just don't think he's got the race pace to live with the Peugeots at the moment. He's 2.2 off He's 2.2 off Geitz, but it's back on board with Jan Barth because the two BMW drivers, Patrick Den got past Cody Besselink, so now Besselink is falling towards Jan Barth, who is occupying 10th place with Maurizio Savona in 11th. So that is your first 10 minutes of this race. I just need to quickly nip away from the commentary booth just for 2 minutes. I'll be back with you in a couple of minutes to bring you the next segment of this live race. Back with you shortly. I'm back with you. Apologies for that. I won't tell you why I had to nip away from the commentary for a moment. It's a little bit embarrassing, but I will maybe tell you in a few moments' time. But let's just concentrate on this, because look at the gap here. Francesco Adamu has just snuck up on the rear of that Peugeot. He's now half a second away from Brendan Geitz in P2. So a charge here from Francesco Adamu in the Ferrari. And he doesn't want to get held up by Brendan Geitz, because the gap to Preece is 5.5 seconds now. So let's see how this develops between Francesco Adamu and Geitz. Just starting to meet that GT3 traffic as well. And that is actually the leader, Joseph Chalo and Kasperzik. They're coming through as well. That traffic not helping Adamu very well, just losing a little bit of time. So that is the race leader in GT3 ahead of Adamu. That is Kasperzik in your shot now. So just pulls to the left, Adamu. So the reason why I had to pull away from the commentary for a couple of moments is I'm currently baking some bread at home, and it was ready. I had to take it out of the oven. And I just remembered I was commentating on the start of this race, and I thought, blimey, I've forgotten to take my bread out of the oven. I mean, that really is quite embarrassing, but look, homemade bread, it takes priority. But we're back with the racing. It's now out of the oven, cooling down, so the worry of burning bread is over. And we're now back with the racing. Oh, blimey. So, just looking at the lap times, the best lap time of Johannes Preece, 30.4. Best lap time of Adamu, 30.7. So just 3 tenths, but the gap now is 7 seconds. And Alex Nieto, let's give a quick look at him. So Alex Nieto, he's also just we're going to be having a battle with Nigel Longden very shortly. So Leonardo Vera has got back up to P3. He's dispatched Longden and Rudy Vermeulen, and Vera back up into third, even though he's still down one position. He started P2, but he's 3.8 seconds off Joseph Chelo. Kasperzik now taking control of this race in GT3, and this is exactly what Kasprizik would have wanted going into tonight. With we've got a BMW going wide, and that is Nigel Longden. So Nigel Longden going wide, and Alex Nieto taking the position at Tosa. So Nieto up to 5th from the back. So just talk about Kasprizik here as well. Kasprizik, yeah, this is exactly what he would have wanted, with Vera down in 3rd and him leading this race currently. There's a point swing in the positive direction for Kasprizik in the championship hopes. Cody Besselink and Jan Barth, the 2 BMWs, down in 9th and 10th overall. They've just got a GT3 to contend with. That is Chada and Kasprizik. I love the lighting of BMW, the front grille. It really does look cool at night. They're battling away. As I always say throughout the stream, thank you for joining us live, and yeah, please do whack some comments in the live chat. It keeps me going throughout the hour here on air. Always love to chat to whoever's watching, so please do say hi and whack the thumbs up button, please. Thumbs up button, ladies and gentlemen. Every like, every subscribe, every comment, every view is always extremely appreciated here the guys at Formula Racing League. And if you are new watching this tonight and not yet involved with Formula Racing League, then please do check out the Discord if you want to get yourself involved with Season 3 of Masters of LMU. Because it certainly is competitive. We've got 2 splits going on. There is the Split 2, which isn't covered by live comms, but there is also a Split 2. The drivers are split into the relevant splits based on pace, so it's a fairly competitive field throughout. So the gap between Chada and Vera just starting to come down. 2.8 now, so Vera is trying to make a comeback. You see the traffic of the hypercars coming through. It looks so cool at night. We're going to, as we see potentially Maurizio Savona just going a little bit wide there at Ravazza 1 and 2. Cody Besselink and Jan Barth yet again getting involved with each other. 0.7 the gap now between the 2 BMWs. I feel like we're going to be seeing a lot more of these throughout the next hour. These 2 drivers not normally that far away from each other most race weekends. That's the 2 for Besselink. He's going to have a run. He is side by side. Besselink on the outside. Barth went to the inside, didn't put up much of a fight, and Besselink goes on through into 9th place. So good racing from the 2 BMW drivers. Vera gap to Chada now under 2 seconds. We've got yellow flags out, and I'm not sure for who. We'll find out soon, Jeff. I think it's Adam Sesplar. It is. It's Adam Sesplar. He's off. That is huge in this title battle. That is big news in this championship battle in Hypercar. Adam Sesplar is off track, yellow flags are waving, and I think his race is done for. Adam Sesplar currently occupying 2nd position in the championship, only 10 points behind Francesco Adamu. That is potentially his title challenge gone, barring a miracle at Le Mans next week. So unfortunate to see, but I'm not sure what has happened. Has he gone off and clipped the wall potentially? But wow, that is big in the battle for Hypercar. That will most likely put him down, way down the pecking order. That will promote Priest and Geitz up into 2nd and 3rd in the championship. And look who is winning this race currently. It's Johannes Priest and Brandon Geitz in P2 with Francesco Adamu, the championship leader, in 3rd. So I mentioned it at the start of the race, but honestly, next week is going to be an absolute banger of a race with the permutations going on with the rows, points, and the finishing positions. It's going to be a nightmare for me to try and keep track of who's currently in what spot in the championship. But if it stays like this in Hypercar, it's going to be so close. It's all going to be down to next week's finale at Le Mans. And really, as viewers, we couldn't really wish for anything more really than that. But what's the gap now? So Adamu, 9 seconds off the lead. Brandon Geitz 4 seconds off the lead. Let's just see what their energy storage is doing as well. So 45%. So we've still got another 20 odd minutes before the round of pit stops. That's where something could happen with the under or overcuts here. And you see there Sesplar DNF. That is just such a shame. Taron is in the live chat all the way from Simtech Racing. How are we doing, young sir? All the way from Germany. Guten Tag, wie geht's? Look at that, German just rolls off my tongue like a natural. Chris Jones, Smiley in the live chat. Sesplar looks to be hardware issues unless he's killed his engine. Yeah, it's just that's gutting in it for him, Smiley. You know, 10 points off the championship lead in Hypercar, I mean, and then that happens to him. Absolutely gutting. But look, that's racing, isn't it? Well, it's sim racing, isn't it, with hardware issues? But you know, IRL, it could be a gearbox, it could be anything, it could be a water pressure issue. That's how I see it. So let's see the gaps. As I predicted, I said it 4 or 5 laps ago. I think we're going to be seeing more of these two BMW drivers tonight, and here we are yet again. Jan Barth gaining on Cody Besselink. 6 attempts into Tosa they go. The two BMWs currently occupying 9th and 10th in Hypercar. Oh, Taron's questioning my knowledge now, isn't he? Doing great. Lewis, do you prefer the current Peugeot or the earlier version without rear wing, just by looks? I'm going to go with this version. I think the version without the rear wing was one hell of ambition. But I think a lot of ambition going for that kind of style. But yeah, I mean, Priest and Geitz is certainly making it work in the game so far. You know, they've dominated the last couple of rounds this season. The Ferrari of Adamu Moden looked really strong at the start of the season. But it's swung to Peugeot, and Peugeot yet again with a 1-2 so far. But thanks for joining, Taron. Great to see you, mate. Taron will be racing with SRT in this Spa 24 Hours in a couple of months' time in July. Go check him out on YouTube as well. Plenty of live streaming from Taron. Oh, it was certainly unique, wasn't it? Certainly very unique. There's no doubt in that. Now, quickly switching back to the GT3s because Leonardo Vera and Joseph Chada are now... Oh, it's so close. It's a three-way battle because they've all caught Kasperzik. Has Kasperzik made a mistake? I think he has. This is the battle now in GT3. It's a three-way battle for the lead. It's a three-way battle for the championship. But forget about the championship right now. It's the battle for Imola because we've got Kasperzik, we've got Chada, we've got Leonardo Vera, the BMW, the Porsche and the Mustang. Let's see if we can go on board with the Mustang. We can, but we can go on the rear view camera of the Porsche. Look how close, you can just see the front grills off the Ford Mustang. Is he going to pull to the side? They've got the hypercars coming through as well. He's side by side up the hill, coming up to the left-hander. Leonardo Vera, is he going to get the move done? Is there side by side? He nudges the Porsche out a little bit wide. Joseph Chada is going to have to concede. So Leonardo Vera, the championship leader, up into P2, and now he's got his eyes set on the BMW, but Chada is not giving it up, and he's just... Oh, he's lost it! He's lost it! Chada's off! Into the barrier! Joseph Chada, the championship contender, is off! Yellow flags are waving. Drama at Imola. The track rejoin. Hopefully there's no traffic coming because that was a questionable rejoin. But wow, drama yet again tonight. The night time under the stars in Italy, proving to be challenging conditions. I think, I personally, I think what happened is he's obviously gone side by side with Vera. You know, probably got a little bit hot under the collar. Got into Acrominerali and got so what's the word I'm looking for? So adamant, you know, to kind of get on the throttle to try and put the Mustang under pressure on the exit. He's just lost it. He's just lost it under traction. But now Leonardo Vera, who dropped all the way down to 5th, is now having a look at the BMW of Kasperzik. Leonardo Vera's pace tonight is phenomenal, and they've got the hypercar behind them as well. He has to navigate this traffic carefully. They don't want to get too much involved. Got to give each other plenty of room. But wow, unbelievable. How far has Chada dropped? He's still maintained 3rd, has he? Yeah, he has. Just look at the telemetry. He's still 3rd position, but how much damage is he carrying? We spoke to Kasperzik before the race, live on air. He said he was feeling the pressure. He's going to be feeling the pressure now. Excuse me. Vera trying to move on the outside of Tosa. Kasperzik is going to have the inside line to the left, to the right, left-hander. I can't get my left and right correct. Vera now going for the switchback, going down the hill into Acrominerali. Who is going to take it? The side by side, I can't call it. Oh, there's contact, there's big contact! There's big contact between the Mustang and the BMW. They both somehow keep it on the track, and there's even more contact. They're side by side. Leonardo Vera now going into the chicane. This is flashing headlights of Kasperzik. They're both flashing the lights, they're both not too happy with each other. Side by side into the chicane, over the curbs. Kasperzik still maintains this, that stewards might have to get involved with this one, but let's just forget about that for the moment. It's a battle. This is a battle for the lead, but you know, I keep mentioning it. This is the battle for the championship. This is all comes down to the cube controls, prizes up for grabs. You know, these drivers have got some determination to win this, and they're not going to give it up easily. So now down the start-finish straight, there's a little bit of weave going on. Severa's got an almighty run. He's already got past the BMW into the braking zone. Kasperzik down the inside again. Now having to go to the outside. Severa looking to close the door to him, and Leonardo Vera is through up into P1. Blimey. Chris Smiley in the live chat. Tickets. My voice needs a ticket. I'll be back with you in 30 seconds. I need to refresh my water. Blimey. Back with you. Sorry, I had to go get my drink. I ran out of drink, and that last few minutes of commentary just absolutely wiped my voice. I mean, blimey, I just get too excited. I'm not a professional. So let's just take a breather. Domikos Kiss has also retired from this race in Hypercar. And Jan Barth and Maurizio Savona, this is how close they are into Ravazza 1. But I'm not going away from this battle in GT3 because Kasperzik, I think he's driving pretty mad right now, pretty frustrated. He's going to be on a man on a mission. I mean, that Mustang of Leonardo Vera, he's just showing some pace, that is for sure. So, Taron just asking, is the Porsche okay? He's still running, Jason Trader. He's 12 seconds off the lead, however. So, I think it's going to have to be just a consolidation drive for him tonight now for the next hour. Jason Trader just bring it home in third place and try and recover some championship points and go again for the season finale. So if you have just joined us, just a reminder, the championship leader in Hypercar is Francesco Adamo. He currently sits third position on track. The two Peugeots of Johannes Priest and Brandon Geitz occupying position 1 and 2. So we have a points swing going on as it stands in the Hypercar Championship. Second in the championship, Adam Sesplar has crashed out or had a technical issue, and he has DNF'd from this race. So Adam Sesplar's championship championship hopes are in the bin. Over in GT3, Leonardo Vera started second, had an incident, dropped to 5th, and has reclaimed all the way up to first position in GT3, and he is the championship leader by 21 points. Kasperzik, who is sitting second, 21 points behind Vera, really, needed to win tonight to put that pressure on the Italian driver going into the season finale. But we've just seen them two come to blows going into Acqua Minerale. Plenty of door banging and contact going on as they were side by side. And Joseph Chadder, who was third in the championship, who's third on track, he went off and hit the wall and was carrying damage. So there is plenty to digest when it comes to the permutations in the championship right now. But we've still got 48 minutes to go, and anything can happen because it has been quite a mad first half hour here on Formula Racing TV. Just my heart rate has just about come back down to normal. I've got my breath back after that battle between Vera and Kasperzik. Blimey. I hope you enjoyed that, watching that, viewers, because that was some drama. Alex Nieto is having a strong race, up into P4, and you can see the position he's gained. He's up 6 places. He's the biggest winner in terms of his starting position on the grid tonight. I'm going to claim some credit for that. I've got nothing to do with the input of his driving ability right now on track, but I did say in qualifying, if there's one driver outside of the top 3 of the championship in GT3 who could throw a cat amongst those pigeons, it would be Alex Nieto, because he's been hovering around, you know, the P4 and 5 in quali most races, I believe, if my memory serves me correct. And tonight he started back on the row. He didn't hook up whatsoever, so he started last in GT3 and he's all the way up to P4. So Alex Nieto, the Porsche driver, Porsche Manthe driver there, showing some strong pace tonight, and his best lap time of a 46.2. I mean, that is still almost, it is 2 seconds a lap slower than Leonardo Vera, but I mean, the pace from Vera is just, his best lap time is a 44.1, and Kasperzik, telemetry there, not showing you the best lap time compared to him in bars, but there we go. So if I show you the best lap time between these two drivers, it's a 1 second difference in the score right now. 44.1 for Vera, 45.1 for Kasperzik, so it's a whole second of best. I've got the yellow flags out again. So who's the yellow flags for? Is it Patrick Den? No, I'm just trying to see who this yellow flag is for. It's now gone green again. No one's going slow. If I had a nickel for every time Lewis has blind me, I could buy a croissant by now. Look, my vocabulary is very limited, and I've got to be on best behaviour because I'm live on air, so I can't swear, can't say anything rude, and I know when you chat to me in Discord all the time during sim racing and our endurance events we've done together over the last couple of years, Taron, I speak very differently. I've got to be very professional on commentary. And blimey's my favourite word. Taron and I, actually, it's a bit of a story for you viewers. Taron and I did a endurance race around IMOLA a few months ago now. Is it three months ago? In FRL, over an ACC. It was quite a fun race actually. It was a changing conditions throughout the 6-hour race. It was quite good fun. Very quick driver is Taron, and so who is looking quick as well is Maurizio Savona, because he's now closing that gap right up to Cody Besselink. So this is on board with Savona from the Porsche Penske driver. He's closing that gap to the BMW of Cody Besselink. Chris Jones smiling, I'm paying the big bucks, I want the car, blimey! Yeah, that's going to be my trademark. Now I feel really self-conscious, and I'm really doing my best now not to say it for the next 42 minutes. Just interesting developments out in front in hypercar. Brandon Geitz, the gap under a second to Johannes Priest. Oh, as he's down the inside of rFactor 2 of that Aston Martin. That was committed from Brandon Geitz, not to be held up by the back marker of the Carvan Horn, the 777 Aston Martin, I believe it was. But 1.5, the gap. So Johannes Priest, has he had a moment or has he just been caught in traffic? I'm not entirely sure. Let's go inside the cockpit of that Peugeot. On board now with the 94 Brandon Geitz, 1.6 away from Johannes Priest. That was naughty, says Smiley in the live chat. It was a little bit naughty, wasn't it? Very committed. And I think it was borderline dangerous, as flashing lights, as he's just trying his best to put off P1. I mean, what's happening to Johannes Priest here? Oh, it's a back marker. It's a back marker. Apologies, I think that is the back marker of... I think that's Patrick Den, he's just gone right, the other Peugeot. So there, the car in front you can see on track right now, that is the race leader Johannes Priest, 2.6 the gap now. Lewis's other teammate usually ends up touching my car at some point in the endurances. You were talking about Mark Conway, aren't you? Because who else would you be talking about? Oh, we've got a car off! Who was that? That's Patrick Den. Is it? No, it isn't. Who was that in the background? I'm trying to find out who that was. He just distracted me talking about Mark Conway. I'm sure we had a... Oh, it was Patrick Den. Yeah, you must be talking about Conway there, because Mark the Missile Conway, as he's known in the SRT Discord, he's got a habit of doing that. I do apologise. So let's just have a quick look at the energy remaining, because I think we're approaching the pit stop window, and we are 10% remaining for the 9 hypercar runners on track. We have had 2 DNF, and we've got the other flags out again. I think that's Patrick Den. He's going slow. Up the hill from Tozer, he's back up and running. Just seeing here as well, Adam Moden 2.2 off the back of Adamy, so approaching this pit window. The Peugeot drivers are pretty safe from the Ferraris in terms of any potential undercuts going on. Brandon Geitz, however, is in that window, 2.5 seconds back from Johannes Priest. Not always Mark's fault, no it isn't. I give him a lot of stick, Mark. Mark takes a hell of a lot of stick from me. And a lot of banter, and it is only ever in jest. But yeah. And Mark and I will actually be reunited IRL next week. We're myself and Mark Conway and our 2 lovely wives are all meeting up in Oxford for some day drinking, some food and some beers. So no doubt a selfie of myself and Mark will be gracing the Discord in the not too near future. A week tomorrow we're meeting up. And I'm no doubt at some point in that day, over our 6th or 7th beer, I will mention his various sim racing mistakes over the last 2 years. I can't say too much to him in Oxford next week because I'm also going on holiday with him in August, and he's Mark's very kindly hosting a Simtech Racing barbecue at his house. So, the whole group of us will be together, and one driver who is going to be together is Maurizio Savona and Cody Besseling, who's now under half a second. So Savona trying to get invited to Cody Besseling's barbecue. So this is the time of the race where we just need to start keeping our eyes on who is the first to blink when it comes to the pit stops. This is where things can happen with fixing damage and tyre changes, fueling, etc. Smiley, who is watching, will know all too about it, what can happen at the pit stops. So we just need to keep our eyes on what happens, and I think the front two will be one to watch. We've got yellow flags being waved by the marshal somewhere on track, and I do apologise, it's Patrick Dem. It's Patrick Dem, he's in the wall, and that's his race over. He's a third retiree in Hypercar tonight. He's another victim of the walls at IMOLA, and that is his race over. Good night. On board with Maurizio Savona in 7th position, hunting down Cody Besseling at the BMW. That's the BMW you can see just coming by the pit entry there on the start finish straight at IMOLA. We've got a fantastic night though, look at clear skies, the stars are out, and the stars are on track as well. We've seen some blistering lap times from the guys out in front. Let's look at the braking there. Maurizio Savona really is gaining a lot of time in the braking zone. The BMW is looking a little bit lively under the control of Cody Besseling. And Leonardo Vera is the first driver in for GT3. He's now on the exit of the pit. So this is where we need to watch. What does Kasperzik do? So Vera not having the risk of being undercut. I think Vera was, I think Kasperzik was a few seconds down behind Vera, so I don't think he's going to be under immediate pressure, but we'll just see what Kasperzik does to respond to that pit move by the race leader, as there's a lot of hypercar traffic. That's Maurizio Savona and Besseling. So he doesn't pit, but all the hypercars are in. So Brandon Geitz is in, Adam Moden's in, Adamu's in, Johannes Priest is in, Illinger is in. So where's Cody Besseling? Besseling continues, Jan Barth continues. For the two BMWs saving a little bit more energy storage and fuel, they've continued. Johannes Priest is on the exit. So is Geitz. So Priest has got out ahead of Geitz. Adamu has followed him out in 3rd position, as is Adam Moden in 4th. So all fairly clean stops from those drivers. Let's just see what Kasperzik is doing. I'm waiting to see how he responds. Joseph Chadha has also continued, but he's 9.5 seconds down on Kasperzik. So just seeing what Kasperzik does in terms of responding to the pit of Vera. We've got just over half hour remaining in this thrilling Imola race. 3 retirees so far in Patrick Den, Kiss and Sesplar. Adam Sesplar, the big hitter, going out tonight. Carvan Horn coming into the pit for GT3, the Aston Martin, 777 Aston Martin. Besseling is now in for Hypercar, and I'm sure Jan Barth will shortly follow. Doesn't see Jan Barth really is saving energy storage compared to the rest of the guys. So Kasperzik is now in, so this is where we need to see where Leonardo Vera comes out. Where is he? He's just gone by the Champagne, just gone by the chicanes. He's now coming down the hill into Ravat's. No, he isn't. Where is he? Where is Vera? Oh, he's Acqua Minerale. Just lost where I was there on track. So coming into Acqua Minerale. So this could be quite close. So Kasperzik still stationary at the moment. Joseph Chadha is in as well. Alex Nieto is in. So through the chicane now, Leonardo Vera. Kasperzik still stationary. He's on. Oh, he's now coming out. He's now being turned around by the mechanics, and he's going. So Kasperzik is on the exit, and he's absolutely flooring it. So into rFactor 1 comes Leonardo Vera. Where's Kasperzik? He's still coming out. He's got a little bit of way to go. Where is Vera? He's now past rFactor 2. He's on the start-finish race. This is going to be more mighty close between the Mustang and BMW. He's still coming out. Can we see the headlights of the Mustang coming? We can. There he comes. It's going to be so close. It's going to be all so close. Into turn 1. So Kasperzik is out in front. Oh, he's got by him. He's got by him. Into turn 1. It was so close. Cool, blimey. You were waiting for that, weren't you? That was almighty. So Kasperzik did a cracking job on the pit there. I don't know, it was a slow stop for Vera. I'm not sure, but that was closer than I thought it was going to be. I'm convinced. I really should have took a screenshot of the gap before the pit stops, but it's 1.5 now out of the pits. It was certainly bigger than that before the round of stops. So Vera will have the advantage now though, because he's going to be on warmer tyres compared to Kasperzik. But yeah, that was exciting. Chaddock gained a lot of time as well, 2.7, so Leonardo Vera really did have a slower stop compared to Kasperzik and Chaddock. I mean, Chaddock was down about 10 seconds. He's now only like 4.5 off the lead. So yeah, Vera, I'm not sure what issues, or if it was just if BMW and the Porsche were saving more fuel. I'm not too sure there. Apologies, I can't give you much more intel, but yeah, certainly a difference in the pit stops. But 3.1 second now, the gap between Kasperzik and Vera. Over in Hypercar, we've got 8 runners remaining, so 1.6 the lead for Priest. He's got a yellow flag out as well, as that is a BMW driver's off. Who is that? It's Nigel Longden. Nigel Longden is off. He's back up and running, thank God. So, how much damage is he carrying? Nigel Longden was sitting in 5th at one point, with Rudy Vermeulen was occupying 3rd position, but Nigel Longden now down in 7th, 15th overall. So just under half hour remaining. That was the round of pit stops done, and we're now 28 minutes remaining in this race, and these drivers will be looking to bring it home. I'll be back with you in 2 minutes to bring you the rest of the coverage here at IMOLA on Formula Racing TV. 25 minutes remaining in this race, and we're on board with Cody Besselink and Jan Barth, who've been hammer and tongue at each other all race long. And here we are yet again, Acqua Minerale, the two BMW drivers who went longer than everyone else in their category, as Jan Barth took a little bit too much curb there. Exit wasn't too great from Cody either. The two BMWs with their very distinctive front grills, the lighting. Bit of blocking going on there, and Besselink off wide at rFactor. That's going to harm his chances of catching Jan. So gaps have just stabilised, as you can see on the left hand side of the screen. So there's only gaps to the car in front. So Geitz 2.3 behind Priest, Kasperzik 4.1 behind Vera. So drivers just resettling in as we've got Jan Barth is off, almost off for an early bath. That's horrendous often, isn't it? That's really bad. Oh, that was bad of me. That was a really bad joke. But Jan off the track there, back up and running. So Besselink up into 6th position. And a 20 BMW down into 7th now. Maurizio Savona, who's gone for the 2-stop strategy tonight. He's boxed twice for some reason. He is sitting in 8th and last of the hypercar runners, dealing with traffic into turn 1. Dominic Illinger, we've not spoken about him too much tonight. He's been pretty much on a race of his own. He's 14 seconds behind Adam Moden, and he's a long way ahead of Cody Besselink as well. He's actually a lap ahead of Cody Besselink. So Illinger having a fairly quiet race at Imola, but he'll be looking just to bring it home in 5th position, taking the championship points and seeing what he can do at Le Mans next week. And actually, I was just thinking about Le Mans next week. You know, I keep banging the drum about this championship, and how can I not? But it is going to be another interesting aspect, just thinking about it, is the performance, the balance of performance, because earlier in the season when we raced at Le Mans, the Ferraris were pretty mega, and you know, I mentioned it earlier how the Peugeots have kind of swung the pendulum a little bit in terms of performance in the latter half of this season. But it'll be interesting to see how if it swings back next week, and will that play into the hands of Francesco Adamu. It's just another aspect we've got to look forward to. It's the season's finale, and if you are watching and you this is the first time watching them, then please do get it in your diaries for next Friday night. We're going to be on air from 7:30 next week, half-hour build-up to qualifying. We're going to talk you all through the championship standings, who's got to finish where, what's going to happen with the championship. We're going to hopefully try and get another couple of interviews lined up on the grid. Maybe not from the championship contenders, because we're going to let them focus on qualifying. But we might try and get a couple of drivers who are not in the championship fight, but who have been here from round 1. So we'll see who we can get hold of on the commentary interview next week before the race, and then post-race we're going to try and get the provisional championship winner live on air. Obviously there's always the argument of stewarding to be done, but you know, hopefully nothing controversial happens when it comes to the front 3, and we can pretty much 98% confirm the championship winner live on air. And so we might have a couple of special guests popping on as well. So we'll see what we can do. And I really do hope next week, and I'm sure it will do, promises to be a cracking season finale to be watching. So yeah, please do tune in. Set a reminder. There is going to be you can click the bell icon on FRL TV and get notified when we are live. But next Friday, 19:30 UK time, race build-up for the season finale. So Priest just putting in lap after lap. We've got yellow flags out as well. I'm not sure for who. Everyone's back up to speed. There's no one going slow, so probably just a brief off-track excursion for one driver out there tonight. Adam Moden sitting comfortably in 4th position. 9 seconds off the back of the other Ferrari of Francesco Adamu, who's now 15 seconds off the lead. He's just not been able to handle the pace of Johannes Priest and Geitz tonight. Alex Nieto still sitting nice in 4th, all the way back from the back of the grid in GT3, so it would be a solid result for him if he can bring that home in 4th position. Rudi Vermeulen, 5th, was once sat in 3rd position when Leonardo Vera made a mistake and dropped back, but he's now occupying 5th position, Rudi Vermeulen. And he's got a 5-second gap to Carl Van Horn, the 777 Aston Martin, who's sitting in 6th position. So he's just getting a hypercar going by him on the left hand side. Longden, who we saw going off a few laps ago, he's now back under control of the 46 WRT BMW. And the last GT3 runner on track tonight, Mark Stewart, not seen too much of him, but the Aston Martin driver struggling for pace tonight. He is the best lap time of 47.9, which is the slowest best lap of all GT3 drivers. Just for a comparison, the best lap, Mark Stewart 47.9 best lap, Leonardo Vera 44.1. So only 4 seconds slower best lap comparison there between first and last in GT3. And Leonardo Vera, I've just mentioned him, now with a 6.2 second lead over Kasprizik. So more yellow flags being waved, and is that Jan Barth? It is. Jan Barth off in sector 1 just before the Tosa hairpin. He's a couple of times he's gone off now since making the pit stop, so his tyres not in the best of conditions. Gap in front, still hovering around 1.5 seconds. So last week at Bahrain, it was quite similar to this. I'm just actually going to bring up the gaps from Bahrain in hypercar, because it ended very closely, because the gap between Priest and Geitz, it was like this at Bahrain, as I was saying, but then toward the last 10 minutes, Geitz made a real charge and really caught up to the rear of Johannes Priest, and I think actually across the line with only like 1.3 gap. So let's just not count out Brandon Geitz yet. He's sitting 1.3 behind Priest, so any mistake, there's potential there. So Johannes Priest winning out in Bahrain last time out, and before that we had the Monza race, and Johannes Priest took that race victory as well, with Brandon Geitz finishing second. So this is the 3rd race in a row where we could be seeing Priest and Geitz 1-2. The last time a non-Peugeot driver won was back in Algarve when Adam Moden finished first. Priest and Geitz that round. I actually think they missed. I don't think they actually took part in it. Round 3 at Sebring, Adamu took the race win, with Priest finishing 3rd and Geitz 7th. So Adamu, who is leading this championship, has not actually won since round 3 at Sebring. It's 4 races ago. This is what I was talking about earlier with the pendulum swinging between the Peugeot and the Ferrari in terms of the balance of performance. Kenneth Ray's in the live chat. Let's go Team Astro. So Team Astro, you'll be supporting Cody Besselink, won't you? If my memory serves me correct. I've had many a good battles with Team Astro on track over the years on ACC. And Carl Van Horn as well, who I also believe is an Astro driver. So shout out to Team Astro there. Sim racing team from Holland. And the Netherlands, shall I say. Oh, of course, Jan Barth as well. I do apologise, Jan. Team Astro as well. Some good lads in Team Astro, as I said. I've had many a good battles with them on track. With my Team SRT, Simtech Racing. .1, Brandon Geitz and Priest. I'm watching this gap ever so closely. Ooh, 1.1. It's just a little bit like a yo-yo at the moment. All under a second now. So is this the charge that we witnessed at Bahrain? Are we going to see it again? Or is Johannes Priest, is he on course for a hat-trick of wins? Is he on course for his third win in a row to really put the pressure on Francesco Adamu in this title race all the way down at Le Mans next week? Can Johannes Priest bring it home for the third week in a row? We're about to find out in the next 12 minutes and 33 seconds. Just getting a little bit held up there, compromised by the Aston Martin. 0.6 now, this is gap is getting closer and closer. I think we could be in for a bit of a grandstand finish. Here we go again. Let's just see what develops. Let's not get too excited, Lewis. Let's just see what happens between these two. Half a second now, you can see how visibly closer Geitz is getting closer to Johannes Priest. I don't need to remind you, these are championship contenders, along with Adamu. Priest looking for his third win in a row, and a flash of the headlights, some mind games going on from Brandon. Oh, as Priest just had a little moment under braking, just a little bit of tyre locking going on there. So 1 hour and 10 minutes of racing, and it all comes down to a gap of 6/10 between the two Peugeot drivers. The qualifying time, you could, well, I think I said Blarney about 10 times. It was that close in qualifying, and it's been close on track, and it's going to get even closer, I think, because Geitz will now have the toe on the straights. It's all about corner entry, corner exits, picking your apexes and not feeling the pressure, but you can just see Priest and Geitz. Geitz is driving with some confidence here. It looks like he's just driving with confidence. I always find it's easier to be the hunter rather than the hunted. But Priest experienced this last week at Bahrain. You know, this is exactly what happened last week. It was a late last 10-minute charge from Geitz, and Priest managed to hold off. So this is not unusual territory for him. Let's go inside the cockpit of that 94 Peugeot, just see how it's looking under control in the hands of Brandon. Into rFactor 1. rFactor 2. Johannes is getting a bit of a better exit there. Trying to break that toe. They're both flashing the lights. Mind games continuing. Yellow flag out as well. Not sure who that is for. Could be for Nigel Longdon. I think he's getting a little bit slow. Traffic coming up. GT3 traffic coming up as well. This is where it could get interesting. So if Geitz really wants to have any chance next week, he needs to get this race win, because Brandon is sitting 4th in the championship on 89 points. Johannes is 3rd in the championship with 101 points. 13 points behind Adamu, but that is going to change after tonight with Adamu sitting 3rd currently. Adam Sesplot, who was 2nd in the championship, he's out of this race, DNF'd. So Brandon, if he wants to... Oh, we've got a car off up front at rFactor. That's Besselink, I think. It is, that's Besselink. Besselink is off from Team Astro. So yeah, as I was just saying, Brandon, he needs to make this. He needs to make this race win, just to kind of have that little bit of point differential going into next week for a legitimate shot at the title. All comes down to this. 7 minutes remaining here in the penultimate round of Formula Racing League TV. Masters of LMU, sponsored by Cube Controls. All comes down to this. Under a second gap between the two Peugeot drivers who have been a class of their own all night. Flashing lights to the back of the Aston Martin of GT3 traffic. Down the inside. Is Brandon going to get held up a little bit? He is. He's going to lose time. Just a tenth for 2. So in the slipstream, looking closer now, half a second. Just ever so slightly closer this lap. I don't think close enough to make a move, but we'll see how it develops. GT3 back marker again in front. Oh, that's close into Tosa. Both navigated the GT3 quite nicely. I think Priest lost out though. Just a 10th gain there from Brandon in Sector 1. Oh, look how much Brandon's pushing the car, going wide down the hill into Acqua Minerale. Varianta out of chicane. Geit's looking quite confident over there, but so was Johannes. Down the hill into Rivazza 1. Brandon's a lot more comfortable in the braking, I think. Now this is close. This is close. 3/10 out of Rivazza 2. There's more flashing going on. Mind games from the two drivers. Brandon trying to do everything he can to put off Johannes Priest. Don't want to see too much excessive flashing. We're going to see him move down the inside. He has a look. Has a look. He has a look. Didn't commit to it. Just a quick flick of the wheel just to try and put Johannes off. Oh, it's down the inside of Tosa. Oh, there's contact between the Porsche. Oh, he did not want to lose any time. And, wow, that is Joseph Chudder in P3. That's Kasperzik. They're now going on by. So Chudder, who's hunting down Kasperzik. So we've got to keep our eyes on that as well. That's 1.2 now, the gap. So that's Chudder there. But back to Geitz and Priest. Blimey. The two leaders in the respective categories, well, bar Leonardo Vera, just door scraping between Johannes and Joseph. Two laps remaining, I believe, across the line. I think Johannes is going to make this. He's just so cool under pressure. He's not been put off by Brandon being behind whatsoever. This lap around, it's 7/10. Not as close as it was the previous lap. So starting the ultimate lap. On board with Johannes, the race leader. You can see Brandon getting closer and closer into the Tosa hairpin up the hill. Brandon's got to stick close through Rivazza 1 and 2 if he wants a chance into turn 1. Oh, it's a good exit from Johannes. This is it. I think this is the last lap. Several kilometres to go to make it 3 wins in a row for Johannes Priest. Varianta outer, Acqua Minerale, beg your pardon. Again, Brandon just a lot of confidence under braking, but into the chicane. Varianta outer now, flashing headlights, so over the right hand curb, plenty of curb, left hand curb. Now, power, on the power, down the hill, all the way down into rFactor 1. This is it. 13 seconds remaining in this race. I think they're going to take the checkered flag this time around. Look how close it is. rFactor 2. It's a really polished and clean rFactor turns for Johannes Priest. The checkered flag is out. He is going to make it 3 race wins in a row for Peugeot. The championship contender is a massive differential in points, a swing in points. The pressure is on Francesco Adamu going into next week. He's going to take 3rd position in this race, but Johannes Priest, 3 wins in a row. Brandon Geitz comes home in 2nd position. Adamu flashing lights in 3rd. We're in for an absolute brilliant race next week, let me tell you that. Leonardo Vera is going to come home in 1st position in GT3. He has got one hand on that GT3 championship title. He's just got to stick around next week and not mess it up. Kasprizik home in 2nd. Only just Joseph Chada pushing him home in 3rd position. So Chada, who we saw in the wall, a great recovery drive from him. Don't know how much damage he was carrying in that 2nd stint, if he fixed it or not. But Kasprizik 2nd, Chada 3rd, and Alex Nieto is going to be coming home in 4th position. What a drive from him, as he was started at the back of the GT3 pack, and he's going to come home in 4th. So wow, Johannes Priest, talk about a late season charge from him. 3 race wins in a row. We're going to bring you the full standings in a very short moment as we see the flashing lights of Alex Nieto across the line. Carl Van Horn has come home in 6th. So let's just quickly take 10 seconds and I'll bring you the full race results. So there we go, they're the race results tonight. IMOLA, FRL, Masters of LMU, powered by Cube Controls. Johannes Priest, 3 wins in a row, comes home in 1st position after 52 laps, and under half a second behind him was Brandon Geitz for also the 3rd week in a row in P2. How are the Peugeots going to fare at Le Mans next week? Let's worry about that in a build-up to next week's race. Francesco Adamu, the championship leader, coming into tonight's race. I'll have to do some quick mathematics and see, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be swapping around now, given how close it was coming into tonight's race. But Adamu home in 3rd. Adam Moden was 4th. Dominic Illinger was 5th. Cody Besseling 6th. Jan Barth 7th. And Maurizio Savona was the last runner in hypercar, home in 8th position. We had 3 retirees of Patrick Den, Domikos Kiss and Adam Sesplar, who would be absolutely gutted as his championship bid is down the drain. I believe there's a drop round, isn't there? So we'll see how the mathematics works out, but yeah, that is your hypercars. Let's have a quick look at the GT3s. Here we go. So only 8 runners tonight in GT3. Smaller field than we have experienced so far, but I'm expecting a packed grid next week. But one man who will not care in the slightest after 45 laps is Leonardo Vera. As I said in the comms about 30 seconds ago, he has got one hand on that trophy, on that prize from Cube Controls. He can see it. He's that close to it. He came into tonight's race with a 21 point lead, and that will have extended tonight. So he's under pressure next week because he's got to make it count, but anything could happen. As we've seen with technical issues or on-track incidents, anything can happen, and it will not be confirmed until that checkered flag has waved for Leonardo Vera. But he's got a week to worry about that. Home in 2nd, who we spoke to on the grid before tonight's race, was Kasprizik. He was 2nd with 16 seconds behind, and not far behind was Joseph Chada. He had a very good, strong second half of the race after the pit stop. He was home in 3rd. Alex Nieto, I'm going to go out and say my driver of the night, purely because he's came back from the back of the grid all the way up into 4th position in GT3, and yeah, it's very strong drive from Alex Nieto in 4th. The 777 Aston Martin of Carl Van Horn was 5th, Rudy Vermeulen 6th, Mark Stewart 7th, and Nigel Longden is 8th. So, as I said, next week join us at 7:30 on Friday night for the build-up to the season finale. It is the no chicane variant as well. It's worth mentioning because we could be getting some almighty slipstream battles going on. So yeah, 7:30. We're going to have interviews with some drivers lined up. Hopefully, we're going to have maybe potentially 1 or 2 special guests. It's shaping up to be a fantastic finale live on air. We might also have somebody joining me in the co-commentary box for hopefully all, but maybe some part of the race, just to help me more importantly, but help the viewers stay up to date with the championship permutations live on track. So, as always, apologies for my voice tonight. My voice has been struggling all season, to be honest. I'm not sure why, but apologies for my voice at certain times tonight and the repetition of blimey. But blimey, what a race it was, and I really have enjoyed bringing you the live coverage this season, and I generally cannot wait for next week. So please do join us. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for commenting on the live stream. Thank you for liking the video. Please do subscribe. Check out the guys on Discord for Formula Racing League if you want to get involved in any racing from ACC to rFactor 2 to Le Mans Ultimate. And finally, Cube Controls, please do check out their socials, because as I mentioned earlier on in the stream, they've got a fantastic announcement and release going on their socials. They've partnered up with V&M Simulation to drop a very top tier limited edition Tube Controls direct drive system. It will redefine your sim racing experience, let me tell you that. So it's on Instagram. It's available from May the 30th, and you can go check that out on the website now. There's only a limited edition, so you've got to take a chance to snag that version from today, May the 30th. Right, that's it from me. I'm going to go try and recover from that, have a lie down in a dark room, and start getting my spreadsheets out and trying to get my notepad out and working out who needs to do what next week to bring you all the action. So I have been your commentator tonight, Lewis Robinson, and I'll be back with you next week. Have a great rest of your weekend. Look after yourselves. Take care, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye.